I was scrolling through Twitter and I came across a tweet from a certain Mr. Sean Strickland, and it did not surprise me one bit, but it's still very disappointing. I keep getting asked to fight Whittaker. I beat Izzy. The world knows I beat Drickus. Whittaker lost to both. I am the #1 contender. I defended that spot easily against Costa. I will wait. Now, again, this is not surprising in the slightest because Sean Strickland was saying after his after his win over Paulo Costa, that he is going to wait. He says, I will wait for the winner of Drickus and Adesanya, and he also said, can't believe all these people, something along the lines of, I can't believe these fighters sit out for 8 months for a title shot, go in there and, earn it, etc., etc., which sounded like a deliberate political answer from Sean Strickland. I mean, you're going to sit out and wait for a title shot and then you criticize others for sitting out and doing the exact same thing. I mean, where does that make sense? Sounds like Sean Strickland was intentionally trolling. But anyway, back to the point. Again, not surprised at all because he's been talking about sitting out for a title shot. But here's the thing. I completely agree with what Sean Strickland is saying about how Adesanya does not deserve a title shot. And he doesn't. I keep seeing people, and by the way, I've had not really a debate because it's just me commenting on his live streams, but when I found out how incredibly biased MMA Joey is, I was leaving comments on his live stream, respectful comments, saying that his points about some mental gymnastics about why Israel Adesanya deserves a shot against du Plessis and Sean Strickland doesn't, it just didn't make sense. And I pointed this out and to the point where he temporarily banned me from the chat, which doesn't bother me. I just jumped on because it was in my YouTube feed anyway. But the point is, I do not understand how people can claim that Israel Adesanya deserves a shot against Drickus du Plessis because he doesn't. Not even close. What has he done recently to earn a shot against du Plessis? He beat Alex Pereira in a rematch. Okay, that was his immediate rematch when he lost to Pereira the first time. His last time in the octagon, he got dominated, spanked, humiliated, whatever else you want to say, by Sean Strickland for 5 rounds. And it's amazing when people pull me up and say that I'm being an Adesanya hater when I say I think Drickus du Plessis is going to dominate Adesanya, which I'm going to put out multiple breakdown videos explaining why I believe that. But I don't understand how people can call me a hater for saying that when Adesanya's last outing in the octagon was him getting spanked and humiliated and dominated by Sean Strickland. So, yeah, for me, the fanboyism around Adesanya getting this title shot is just ridiculous to me. I don't understand it. I don't understand how people can claim Adesanya should be getting a title shot other than they just want to show that they're huge fans of his. And fans who don't care about earning title shots or whatever, because Sean Strickland has done more to earn a title shot than Adesanya. And I'm going to explain this briefly because I've written in multiple comment sections that Adesanya is the least deserving contender in the top 5. And people say, well, how is that? Because he beat Robert Whittaker twice, etc. Well, I thought Robert Whittaker won the rematch, but that is all in the past. In terms of what they have done recently, Robert Whittaker was coming off a win over Paulo Costa. And Adesanya, again, is coming off a 5-round humiliation. So that made Whittaker more deserving before he fought Ikram Aliskerov. Then you have Jared Cannonier, who, again, we saw him lose to Nasruddin Imavov in a horrendous stoppage, but before that, he was coming off multiple wins. One of them, a win over Sean Strickland. Say what you want about the decision, he did win. So that made him more deserving. But Jared Cannonier is not a big name, so he got treated like he didn't exist, unfortunately. Because, again, Cannonier should have got the title shot over Adesanya. But in a game where it's a popularity contest to get title shots, not surprising that that's what happened. He got treated like he didn't exist. And Sean Strickland, he had a close competitive loss to du Plessis, but fans say he doesn't deserve a title shot. But Adesanya gets dominated and spanked by Sean Strickland for 5 rounds, and he deserves a title shot? Where does this make sense? Please tell me. And on top of that, people say, well, Adesanya did this as champion and that as champion. Okay, he got an immediate title shot for that when he lost to Alex Pereira. So again, there is absolutely no way to justify Israel Adesanya getting a title shot, in my opinion. If you think otherwise, I'd love to hear it. Again, I wasn't having a huge problem with MMA Joey having his opinion, other than he likes to hold himself up as somebody who is objective in everything, and I feel he is everything but, as I've learned more and more about him. But again, if you disagree, let me know down below. I feel that Sean Strickland, he's not doing himself any favours by doing this because, again, as much as I agree he should get a title shot, the UFC is going to side with a guy who is more active and headlining more shows for them, and that is Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker has put himself in a position to where he deserves to fight for the middleweight championship. And again, if I had my way, Sean Strickland would have got the immediate rematch. Jared Cannonier and Robert Whittaker would have fought in a rematch for a number one contender position, or you do Whittaker versus Chimaev, which would have fallen apart, and you do maybe Adesanya against Cannonier. I don't know, maybe Adesanya against Chimaev, but Chimaev would have fallen out anyway. So, but the point is, anything other than giving Adesanya an undeserved title shot is what I would have gone with. In which case, Sean Strickland would have either put himself in a position to be fighting for the title with a win, or which is what he's had, or he would be fighting for the belt immediately. But that's not the world we live in. When, again, when it's just a popularity contest when it comes to title shots, which again, there's a lot of people who get angry when I point this out, but it's true. Unfortunately, you have to go out of your way to make yourself undeniable. It sucks. Again, it's not fair, it's not right, but it's the world we live in. It's been a big problem the last few years, and we're just seeing it more and more now. So drop your thoughts down below about Strickland saying he won't fight Whittaker. Do you agree with me? This means Whittaker will probably get the next shot. And again, does anybody believe that Adesanya somehow deserves a title shot? Like the video and subscribe to the channel for more, guys. Catch you later.